Hello everybody and welcome back to XCW Freetime interview. I am of course your host Fletch, and I am standing here with
Ellis. Technically we're sitting.
Yeah, we are sitting. So part of the agreement was that he gets to hang out with this belt today while we do this.
I'm so in love. Look at this. Hold on, let me redo it. Oh, look at that. Look at that! I'm so in love with this. He won't put it up for our agreement.
So someday when Ellis becomes XCW champion, we're gonna have a custom spinner title made for sure.
Yeah, hear that, Aaron Blaze? Custom! Look at it!
So of course I want to welcome the entire XCW Galaxy to another edition of Freetime interview. Of course, Jay's gonna be answering all of these questions completely out of character. This is actually the opinion of Jalen Ellis right here on Freetime interview. You ready to get into some controversy?
Yeah, this is Jalen Ellis, not Jay Ellis.
Right.
Jalen Ellis.
So we're not talking about the money, we're just talking legit.
Yeah.
Alright, so first, who is your favorite XCW superstar to watch?
Mine to watch? Right now, like, out of everybody who's, like, been here, right now it'd have to be Hunter Houken. Dude just puts on, like, some of the most exciting matches that I've seen since I've been here, 3 years now? Mm-hmm. Since the 3 years that I've been here, dude's put on, like, some of the most exciting matches that I've seen so far, especially that ladder match he had with fucking, Brogan.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, Summer Mania this past year. Match of the Year, Viewer's Choice winner. Some of the stunts, some of the things that they accomplished in that match, and the storytelling that they had in that match, brilliant. And yeah, he's definitely a star to watch. And of course, you had the chance to work with him last year at the Kurt Aston Memorial Battle Royal. Unfortunately, you got injured in that match, but
broke my face, broke my whole right side of my face.
But it's awesome that you got the chance to work with them thus far, and I'm sure that there's more to come in the future. And speaking of people that you've worked with, who in XCW do you most like to work with?
Some people might not believe this, but honestly, Void.
Yeah?
Void. Void, for a big dude, for a much bigger dude, bigger than me, Void is a really good worker.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude can come here and say, like, per se, like, having a bad day. But once he gets into the ring, that bad day, like, goes out of the window. Void will put on some of the best matches with anybody that I've seen. And, like, the feud that we had for the international belt was probably one of, like, I ain't gonna say probably, it is, like, one of my best feuds and best matches that I feel like I put on.
Yeah, and you guys got the opportunity to do, like, the tables match and stuff like that. So, yeah, I got my opportunity to work with Void for the very first time in the 2023 season.
It was crazy.
And we had a blast.
It was crazy to think that Void's been here for so long, and, like, that's your first time working with him.
Yeah, that was our first meeting ever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, of course, even prior to you being officially on the roster, you've had the opportunity to be at a lot of XCW shows over the years. What particular show stands out to you as just, like, the best show that you've ever been a part of in XCW?
The best one?
Yeah, like your absolute favorite show.
Shit. You know what, man? I actually never really sat down and thought about that, because half the time, a lot of this, like, you may not think it because, you know, you run the shows and shit. But a lot of the times, the shows that we've had here recently, a lot of them have really been, like, my favorite. Like, Summer Mania was my favorite. Allegiance was one of my favorites. Especially, didn't Corey Lee turn this year, or was it last year?
Corey Lee turned last year. This year it was Evan and Onyx. They had their...
Okay, see, last year, Allegiance, especially, I will say Allegiance then, because for some reason, like, you never know what the fuck is happening in that Allegiance.
Sure.
Yeah, like Corey Lee flipping, that time at Allegiance where me and JJ were working with you and
Vengeance and Venom turned on us.
Yep. Like, you never know what can happen. Like, you know, Summer Mania brings out the surprises, but Allegiance brings out, like, that real shit out of everybody right there.
I'm with you. I get it. So, of course, you participated in some of the ground zeros and stuff as part of FWL, and you've worked with FWL throughout the years. But how did you get your start here at XCW?
Shit, basically I messaged you on Facebook. We were having the, like you said, we were having the ground zeros. And ever since the ground zeros, like, I had always wanted to work here. And JJ was really the first one who had, like, the main opportunity to work here. Right. I don't really know how that went. Because I remember him telling me that, like, you asked him to come work here or some shit around those lines. Mm-hmm. But at the time, he was working down here, and we're still working up in FWL. And I'm like, well, you coming down here to get the experience with them. Why can't we? So when I finally got my work schedule right with everything, I'm like, this is my time. Like, this is my time to come down here to work with a great company and great people as yourself and everybody else on the roster. I ain't gonna say everybody because not everybody on the roster is great people. Stevie,
we'll get there. All right.
We'll get there. But yeah, it was my time to come down here and shine. It was my time to come down here and put on the skills that I was showing down in FWL and bring them somewhere else. And I like coming down here for the experience, not just to come and wrestle and see my friends, but it's a good experience to come down here and wrestle different people.
And most of the time on an XCW day, I mean, most of the time it's overly positive. Like, we have such a talented group and we put on such a good show most of the time. It's hard to really come here and have a truly bad experience. I mean, even if you're not where you want to be positioning wise on the card or, in a certain situation, I mean, things always work themselves out and eventually you get back to what you were wanting to do. So everything's positive, but there are days that are bad. And with that being said, is there a particular show that you remember that you were just like, oh my God, this is awful? Like, your absolute least favorite XCW show that you've been a part of?
My least favorite show that I've been a part of, it was, I want to say, it wasn't, not Glory, but I forget which show. I can't really remember, but it also was a ground zero that we came down here, and the people that we came with were just kind of the people we should have left at home. What was bro name? He had to face Tommy in a match.
His real name is Ryan.
Yeah. Honestly, because I was at the time I was working the board member with JJ and FWL, and we didn't have anybody else to bring, so we didn't really have no choice but to bring Ryan. That right there was probably the worst shit I have ever been around. There's a couple of other moments like this year that has happened to me that have completely fucking sucked. But the fact that we brought Ryan down here for that coast show was absolutely fucking garbage. I was sitting by James Cerebro, like, I hate to do it because FWL, it's my home company.
Right.
I was sitting around James Cerebro and James is like, who is this guy? I'm like, shit, I don't know.
Never seen him before in my life, man.
And James is like, well, he's wrestling for y'all company. I said, I still don't know who he is. He was like, come on, man, tell me the truth. I was like, all right, his name's Ryan. He's new. He's green. He's green as fuck. Like, probably greener than a tomato. And he got to wrestling Tommy, and when Tommy picked him up, I think it was for the Cyclone. Tommy picked him up for the Cyclone. He screamed like a little bitch. Have you ever heard a grown man get picked up by another grown man and scream like a 13-year-old girl? Which you guys would have been at this coast show. Because it was terrible. It was horrible. And like I said, I hate to say it, I'm sitting by James Cerebro and I'm laughing at my own wrestler. Like, this is a dude that I've been trying to train who just can't seem to get anything down. And I'm trying to train him up and I'm laughing at it. Like, it was so bad. The thing that I'm wearing now, I had to put over my face like this and cover my mouth so he wouldn't see me laughing at him while he was in the ring. Which I hate to do that. Right.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. I'll admit I've had plenty of guys get into my ring that I'm just like, what the hell?
Garrett, I hope you see this.
See, he never debuted next to I was smart on that one.
Garrett, I hope you see this, bro, because you sucked. You sucked.
That's why I pawned him off on CBW.
You should have pawned him off on FWL. We needed the people at the time. But honestly, if you would have did that, we probably would have fired his ass too, because he was worse than Ryan.
So, you've had a lot of big moments in XCW thus far. What, in your opinion, has been your biggest moment in XCW thus far?
My biggest moment? Man, there's been so many.
Maybe the international title.
Yeah, that's really one of my biggest moments. But I want to say, besides winning the championship, my biggest moment, honestly, is me swantoning off the third rope, honestly.
And what Jay's referring to, of course, is Final Chapter 2023, going one-on-one with JJ Kelty.
Because let me be honest with you guys, I'm a bitch when it comes to heights. Like, I am a bitch. Like, I do not like climbing shit. But my favorite match is the Money in the Bank. I like doing that for the experience of trying to conquer my heights. But I am a big bitch when it comes to heights. But the Money in the Bank is like, that's one of my biggest, like, my favorite things to do. But really jumping off that third rope for that swanton was probably one of my biggest accomplishments, besides winning the international belt. Speaking of international, I think I need to beat Leon one day.
So obviously we're talking about big moments.
And this right here, this is a big moment too. Like, this one's a little more open, not just XCW. I guess you could talk about your entire career. Is there a point in your career that to you just felt like the biggest turning point in your career, that like where it finally is like an aha moment and you're like, all right, I'm good from now on? Like, me coming here.
Really?
Me coming here.
Okay.
Really, it really was. Me coming to XCW, and I'm not going to say FWO, like, couldn't have did this, because, you know, JJ is actually kind of trying to, like, get me to go somewhere into the indies. But me coming here has actually put my, like, wrestling name out in the world. Like, I've never, like...
Well, I'm not going to put him on blast, but I am going to put him on blast. JJ's wrong. The indies, as they say, is not the place to go, but...
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too since, like, I've been wrestling. They say it's not the place to go.
Or at least not locally.
Like, if you want to, like, learn shit, you want to go to school type deal. Mm-hmm. But here has really kind of, like, put my name out there. Like, people know me. Since I started wrestling here, bro, people know me before I know them. You know,
there's a lot of eyeballs on the XCW product. The numbers may even not reflect it. And, you know, part of that I've seen is, like, YouTube's numbers have been messed up. Like, I can look at the analytics of what a number says on whatever product we're putting out there, and it's not reflecting what's being seen on the people that are clicking onto our channel. Right. So you may have something that says that there's 450 views on it that actually has, you know, 550.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's YouTube's algorithm or if they just have something wrong with you know, the number it's matching up or what, but there are a ton of eyeballs here, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, you're right, there's a ton of eyeballs because there's people up in Fort Wayne who watched the show, who I never thought watched XCW, have came up to me and be like, bro, you're Jay Ellis from fucking Shelbyville. Like, well, I'm from here.
Right. Right.
I'm from here, but I wrestle down there, and they're like, man, we be watching XCW. Not all the time, but a lot of the times. It was this old dude at my job when I worked at Ingram. And he was telling me about he was telling me about it, but he never put a name on it. And I'm trying to just, like, figure it out. He's like, man, I stay watching you. Well, I'm like, well, we ain't really dropped nothing on FWL yet. So
the only thing that has been dropped on FWL, of course, you guys can check it out on XCW All Access channel. I have older episodes of FWL from back in 2016, 2017 on there, so you can check those out.
We're ground wrestling.
Yeah.
We got a ring now. We just need more people, I guess. But that's a different story.
So, of course, you've had you know, a longer career past XCW as well. What's the worst injury that you sustained in the ring? Or I guess on the ground?
The broken face. Honestly, it's really the only injury I've ever had.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, on the flip side of that, has there been an injury that you've witnessed that was just horrible, as like the worst thing that you've seen happen to anybody? It was probably here too, right?
When Will Smith. We're not supposed to laugh at that because, honestly, when Will Smith...
I'll laugh at that because I don't like him personally, but...
When Will Smith took that leap of faith off that ladder, and, like... I don't know if it wasn't like commitment or like he just didn't have enough oomph.
Well, the problem is that at first he didn't collapse the legs down on it to keep it stable.
And the ladder was the wrong way.
Yeah, and then also they didn't have a ref or anybody that would have been on the outside and the inside holding the ladder down as he jumped. So.
Yeah. So
a lot of things went wrong in that.
When Will Smith took that leap of faith off that ladder, that was literally the day I contemplated.
You heard that motherfucker soul leave.
Yeah, no, Will Smith died that day, bro. He fucking died that day. Like, he hit the ground, saw Jesus, and God kicked him back down and said, "It's not your time yet, bro."
So on that, I mean, especially coming off of something like that, has there ever been a time in XW where you just wanted to quit?
Yeah, that was the
that was
man. That
right
was really the man. Like, the broken face thing didn't make me want to quit at all. It just motivated me to do better and watch what I was doing.
Sure. Yeah.
But Will Smith hit that ground. I thought, like, we drove home that night in silence. Nobody talked. We didn't even stop to get food. Nobody talked, bro. We just drove straight home. JJ messaged me the next day and was like, "Hey, if you don't want to do this anymore after what you saw with Will Smith, I totally understand." And I'm like, as long as I ain't got to do shit like that, I'm fine. But now, like, as you're starting to see, I'm like doing shit like that. I'm doing
yeah. And like I said, that was an error on the people that coordinated the match as well as himself.
Because I've never like seen a grown man like I said take a leap of faith, mess up, and then literally die hitting the ground. He died. So,
of course, Will Smith, the Enigma Machine, would then leave XCW after that, rightfully so.
Because he broke like 2 ribs, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the Enigma Machine was his gimmick. Speaking of gimmicks, what is the worst gimmick that you've seen come through XCW?
Trevor's.
Jade Tucker? Which character? The Demise or the Enforcer?
The Demise.
Okay.
The Enforcer.
Now, see, the Demise, we didn't really get to tell the full story, okay? He was actually, once we got further into the story, he was going to introduce Black Magic, which is why he carried the book, but we didn't get the opportunity to get to that part.
Okay. But also, I just feel like that just wasn't Trevor. I feel, okay, let me say it in this name. Like Jaden Tucker, I just felt like that wasn't Jaden Tucker. I felt like Jaden was only trying to be that person because he felt like it was going over for DJ. So to me, every time, like, since y'all paired him up with Unholy, it was like, well, since DJ can do it, I can do it.
The only thing about that is he was doing the Demise character in CBW prior to coming to XCW and doing it. So
yeah, I honestly felt like he should have stayed with the Enforcer because he low-key kind of looked like a generic R. Anderson anyway. So like I felt like he should have stayed with the Enforcer and tried to like figure out something that would get the crowd to go over because I just don't feel like the Demise character was gonna work out.
On the flip side of that, who in your opinion has the best gimmick you've seen in XCW?
It's been so many. What's the one dude who be coming out smoking that illegal stuff?
Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper. I love Grim Reaper. I think I probably had like my best funniest matches with Grim Reaper.
Me too. How do you prepare for a match?
Like the day of or before I get here?
Nah, the day of.
I stretch a lot. I listen to music because let's just be real. A lot of people here don't stretch, and that's how people get injured.
Unfortunately for me, I'm just so damn busy that I don't have time or the opportunity.
Because you already running the whole show.
Right, yeah.
So, it depends on when I'm on the card. So, if I'm on the card first, I'll try to stretch beforehand. So, before we walk down the way to get here, I'll stretch out and, get dressed and everything. But say, like, if I'm 4th or 5th or 6th or whatever, I'll stretch out for at least 2 matches before my match.
Do you have any pre-match rituals that you do, like something that you absolutely have to do before you can go out and perform?
I hype myself up because half the time, like everybody else there, they're like they're doing something else. So not everybody's gonna be there to hype you up.
Right.
I try to do stuff to hype myself up. Like sometimes I think about the biggest fish that I've caught in my life, and that hypes me up every time. So when I get that hypeness to go out into the ring, I know I'm going to be able to perform maybe like just a little bit better than what I would do if I didn't hype myself up.
And of course, part of wrestling is, getting hit, getting slammed, and getting chopped.
Yeah.
What's the worst chop you've received?
Oh, Benji. When I thought I was that dude and got into that chop war with Benji.
He was... that dude not only chopped me, but he chopped me and then punched me in the face, and then chopped me and punched me in the face. He catch me right here every time, and he knew it pissed me off. Yeah, that dude's got some chops on him.
So Brandon Hobb, that's one reason like I like to wrestle Brandon and I don't like to wrestle because he does that too. So like he did it to me like punch chop, and it was just pissing me off. And I'm like, dude, I am about to counter this and I'm about to yell in your face and bear chop the shit out of you.
What, in your opinion, is the best finishing move in XCW?
Mine.
That's fair.
Definitely the DVD because like it just looks impactful.
Obviously, your finishing move was inspired partly by Velveteen Dream, which we're not supposed to talk about or whatever. I don't know. But what pro wrestler influenced you most prior to you coming into wrestling?
I got 3.
Okay.
Samoa Joe, John Cena, and JTG.
Okay.
And honestly, if you look at a lot of my attire, you can see where I picked up from, or even with my wrestling moves. Like you can see where I picked up from
JTG.
You can see where I picked up from those wrestlers. Like the jersey, I kind of picked up from John Cena. The pants, I got from JTG. The wrestling moves, I got from Samoa Joe.
Obviously in wrestling, it's not just about learning your craft, but sometimes you get put into positions where you're in different concept matches. What is your favorite concept match?
What you mean by that?
Like cage, ladder, TLC.
Okay, ladder and TLCs.
Okay.
Because it just depends on who you're working them with. Like, ladder and TLCs can definitely be the biggest clusterfuck. Because there's a lot of shit going on.
It's got a lot of pre-planning in those. Yeah.
But the fact, like, because, then with that, like, you can put on just a little bit more excitement. Like, jump off the ladder.
Right.
Hit somebody with a ladder. Have a little bit more of a leeway to start beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, concept matches are tough for me because, like, you can go out there and you all just beat each other with stuff. But, like, it's the matches that you can go out there and you can utilize the weapons that you have while also being able to perform, like a normal match, when you can incorporate the props that you have into the moves that you do. Those are the things that I really like to see. When people can wrestle a match still and have the concept stuff to it, that's where I'm at.
That's also another reason why, I love Jesse's character so much when he was like the Craze character, because he could get into those types of matches and Jesse could put it on, especially like the elimination chain matches.
Yeah,
those are like Jesse's top tier matches to me.
So of course you've been in some concept matches through the years. You wrestled Jackson Law in a ladder match.
Boo!
You were in Money in the Bank. You've
Speaking
even been in a dog collar chain match here in XCW. So what's the hardest weapon shot that you've received since you've been here?
The hardest one that I've received, when you started at EBW, we all had to run out to try to help ACT. Hayden Vex blasted me in this side of my face with a fucking chair. Blasted me, dog.
Yeah, especially in the last few months, there's been a lot of, I wouldn't say complaints, but suggestions on Hayden Vex relaxing a little bit out there. He's kind of
aggressive.
Yeah. And he'd love to kind of take over a match and not let anyone do anything. So
yeah, I'm like, as soon as we ran out there, like he, like, don't get me wrong, he's doing his job. So he was hitting us with the chair and everything, and I turned around, he just boom, and I was like, I'm not getting back up.
So 6 months from now, we're looking at around June or so as of this recording. So we're looking at Extreme King season, going into SummerMania season. Where do you see your XCW career from 6 months from now?
World champ.
Yeah, that should be the goal, right?
If not world champ, at least another international title run.
Who, in your opinion, is the fastest rising star in XCW history?
Hunter Houken, no questions. Oh, and his best buddy Eric, no questions at all.
Two New Age championships in his first year.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah. I've never seen him and Hunter. Like, I've never seen two dudes step in here and just take off as quick as they did.
Okay, so Hunter Houken, Jason Arcane, all these guys have very unique names that have come through XCW over the years. What, in your opinion, is the best name to come through? Like, what ring name do you really enjoy? Obviously, there's been a lot of single word names, like Void, Venom, Carnage, Hazard. So.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but Hayden Vex name is really kind of unique to me because it sounds like a dominant person.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like, say, if you're new here and you come in, the first person you wrestle is Hayden Vex. You think this guy is gonna kick your fucking ass.
He did.
Yeah, he did his job. But as soon as you would hear the name Hayden Vex, I'm not gonna say it put fear.
Oh, no, I get it. I get exactly what you're saying.
If you're new and you don't know who Hayden Vex is, and you hear that name, it's gonna make you shiver in your boots. You're gonna be like, well, fuck.
Right.
Who is this guy?
Right. I know you probably don't know the full list. You've only been here a few number of years, but who should be in the XCW Hall of Fame that isn't yet? Like I said, I know you don't know everybody's names that are in there, but
one, not Stevie Goble. Don't put Stevie Goble in the Hall of Fame.
All right.
We just talked about him yesterday. If he's not already in the Hall of Fame, and I'm not saying this because he's black.
J-Town?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in the Hall of
Okay.
Fame. Yes.
Fago.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
This one, I guess I can't really ask you. It's what theme song gets you most pumped in your career? Of course, you've really only used one.
Out of my theme songs?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, honestly,
you can give another one. That's fine.
Evan Phoenix. I love his theme song.
All right. Yeah,
I love Evan Phoenix's theme song. I even got that shit downloaded on my playlist.
So I think no one will argue the fact that you are one of the most popular XCW superstars on the roster. Definitely a fan favorite. But what do you prefer, being babyface or heel?
Heel.
Really?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love playing the babyface character because, it has got, since I've been here, it has gotten over and people do love me. But, you can't call people an asshole as a babyface.
Right.
Or you're not supposed to.
Right. And, yeah, I think, obviously being a heel is a little easier, too. It's a little harder to go out there and be smiling and get people on your side. You don't have that problem, but...
And, honestly, I was watching something on the WWE Network, and Paul Heyman said it the best. He was like, do you think good guys are really as interesting as bad guys are?
It's true. It is true. So, obviously, we're sitting here in front of the eye that never blinks. Were you ever camera shy?
Before wrestling, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I was definitely camera shy. But what broke that, before wrestling, you already know, I used to rap.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of years ago, our first show was at Pierre's, and we opened up for Snoop Dogg.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I had got the mic, and dude was like, man, I know you're a little bit shy, but once you get on the stage, he was like, that has to shoot out the window. So we got on stage, and I grabbed the mic and immediately went like this. And I looked around, and he's like, don't text, don't call me. Don't text, don't call me. So after that day with the Snoop Dogg concert, we did more and more concerts. I did a show here one time in Shelbyville before I knew you. I did a show in Terre Haute, Anderson, Elkhart. So after traveling around rapping, that being stage scared just flew straight out the window. Especially with the Snoop Dogg, because after the concert, Snoop Dogg smoked with me and my friends and gave us a free bottle of his alcohol that he had out at the time.
Obviously, I know that you've had wrestling experience prior to XCW.
He even made fun of me. He was like, "So was you the one who got scared on stage?" I was like, "Yeah, dog." He was like, "Bro, it's okay."
Obviously, you've had wrestling experience before XCW. Did you have any wrestling experience prior to FWL?
No. When I first joined FWL, the only experience I can say I had was watching this shit on TV.
Who were you trained by upon your wrestling career start?
Mainly JJ Kelty. He trained me. It was a couple of other people who would come in and out. Like, he had a homie named Kid X who came in for a little bit, but he ended up passing away. He came in for a little bit and had trained me around some moves. Like, he tried to get me to do one of these moves that he had, but I never really liked it, so I never picked it up. So I left that with him when he died. But then, like, as you know, the years grew, like, yeah, I love the training that JJ gave me, but like, it's always good to learn different shit from different people. So I started picking.
We have a crazy cast of characters here in XCW that are just insanely talented.
Yeah.
So,
and Leon Lux and like Tommy, like, those are two people. Like, if I stayed down here and had the time, Tommy and Leon are two people I definitely want to train me. But I used to train with this other guy up in the gym. He did cage fighting. He taught me a lot of submissions. That's like, I don't know if you see it, but sometimes that's like how I kind of know where like to control my submissions shit now when I chain wrestle.
So when you come into XCW, of course, you were immediately paired up with JJ Kelty as part of one half of Violent Ending. Successful run there. You were working with guys like Heart of the Storm and you know, Evan and Jaden Tucker and Knowledge is Power and all these guys, all these tag teams.
2-time tag champs, and we won an award that year.
Yeah. What, in your opinion, is the best team or stable that you've seen come through XCW?
Vengeance. And right now, EBW is shutting shit down. Like, they might not have their main title right now. Shout out to you, Brogan O'Shea, for that one. But they're still shutting shit down.
Oh, yeah.
They're shutting shit down.
Definitely. So, obviously, you know, not only on camera are there rivalries in the locker room, but there could be backstage. Is there anybody in XCW that you personally do not like?
Now?
You can give me past, present.
Stevie Goble. Stevie Goble's one. I'm not gonna say like I don't like him, and he may not like me, but Leon Lux is another one. Like, I don't know what that is, because like we see each other, and like we don't acknowledge each other at all. Like, I'll see him, he'll see me. We'll walk right on past, straight on past. And like, I don't know if it's something like, maybe because I called him Doink that one time, so like maybe that pissed him off. Like, it was just a joke, but sorry. And right now, also somebody like who I kind of really don't like as much as I used to is kind of DJ. Like, don't get me wrong, I love him to death. Cool character, but he like, this year he kind of cried just a little bit too much for me.
So obviously you've been part of, we talked about, you know, earlier storylines. You know, had some storylines with JJ Kelty when the Violent Ending split. You had a story that really grabbed a lot of people's attention in 2023 with Jackson Law.
That hurt him.
I bet, yeah. And you had the story with Jackson Law earlier this year. You've had stories with Void. Is there a particular storyline in XCW that stood out to you overall that was just the best storyline you've seen come through?
Brogan and Chris Jones.
All ultimately led to them being in a death match.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a weed eater. Crazy
Right.
motherfuckers.
Oh, and Brogan and Brady. When Brady beat the shit out of him with that kendo stick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, you named off some of those. Who, in your opinion, is your favorite rivalry? What's the best rivalry?
The best? Shit, it's been so many. Man, I really couldn't give you my favorite one, but one that stood out to me the most would have to be, I think it was like out of stuff that I watched, it was the one time where somebody kidnapped Tommy's kid.
Yes. Brandon Hobbs.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy.
People believe that story so much that we legit had someone call the police trying to help Tommy find his
kid. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
So you've had the opportunity to, you got to work Cemetery Row, Mainstay Arena, the St. Paul Gym, the Baxter YMCA. You've been able to perform in a lot of different XCW locations. What's your favorite location to perform in?
Mainstay. It's home. You can't beat anything but your home arena, and it's Mainstay. Like, if we wouldn't have had we had Summer Mania at the gym this year.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like we should have just had it at Mainstay. Like, it felt different.
To a lot of people, the Summer Mania felt bigger this year because it was presented in a different way that had never been seen before. So, it's opinion based.
Yeah.
I think the show didn't shy away from having a big time feel, but I totally understand, being able to produce better like special entrances and having the pyro intros and stuff like that kind of comes with the territory of, not being in the buildings. Yeah. What kind of legacy do you think that you're going to leave behind in wrestling?
Man, these are questions I ain't never really thought of. Hopefully, at least a halfway, like a decent one. Like I get to like accomplish my goals here at XCW and leave that here as kind of a legacy when I retire, and maybe make it into the Hall of Fame. If I don't, I don't. Okay, but if I do, cool. So hopefully, I get to leave like some good shit here at XCW, and it kind of FWL before I retire. Like, I want to be the first black world champion y'all got.
Sure, yeah.
So that's one legacy that I'm hoping that I accomplish before I retire anywhere or decide to like maybe go anywhere else, or just like you said, stop wrestling.
What kind of legacy do you think XCW is going to leave behind?
The best. I don't like a backyard company. It's going to leave the best legacy, unless you like, give this company to your son and he keeps it going with all his homies in the future. But honestly, I can guarantee you, like, XCW will have that legacy out of everybody's head here in Indiana that it was the best wrestling company you could have worked for.
How has XCW impacted your life? Obviously, I know that FWL's had an impact on your life because that's what started your wrestling career. But what kind of impact has XCW?
It's brought out the best in me. It's had the best impact on me. Like I said, since I've started here, even people in Fort Wayne or no matter where I go, people who watch this show know me before I know them. People will see me wrestle and tell me like, hey man, you're really great. As much as I kind of don't see it, people always tell me that I'm a really great wrestler. Like, I am a fantastic wrestler. And like that impact has, like, being here has really put that positive impact on my life. Because honestly, I'm not gonna say like I'd probably be dead if I didn't wrestle, but I'd probably be doing something dumb.
Fair enough. What's the best thing to come out of XCW for you personally?
Experience. Being able to wrestle a lot of the people that I haven't got to wrestle in my hometown, meeting people that I thought I'd never be able to meet before, the bond that I have here with everybody.
What's your proudest achievement that you've accomplished in XCW so far?
Besides the international and besides the Swanton, it's been kind of so many. Being there, supporting Ken when he won his first singles title. That was a real good accomplishment for me because he was telling me at one time like he didn't feel like he would be able to win one, and I'm like, bro, you gonna be able to win one. It's gonna put an accomplishment on me and you just to see you finally be able to did it.
Obviously, you go by your real name, but where did you come up with the character of Jay Ellis and your gimmick, your character? Like, how did all those things come to be?
My character is me, bro. Like, honestly, Jalen and Jay are basically the same people. I base my character because nobody can be like, no matter what gimmick you come up with for yourself, nobody can be better than who you are. So I felt like me being me on and off the screen was the best character I could have came up with. And honestly, it has been. It's worked.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So
see, absolutely. It has worked.
What do you say to those that say that wrestling is fake?
Come do it. Come do it. If you think wrestling fake, come do it and I'll show you different. For real, I'll show you different. If you think this is all fake, if you think what we do in the ring is fake, come on down to XCW. See? Come to FWL. You know, or you just meet me in the street.
Right.
And I'll show you that it's not fake.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a misinterpretation from a lot of fans, a lot of people out there who, you know, of course, some of the outcomes are predetermined, but there's no way to go out there and learn how to bump on ladders and get hit with light tubes or chair. Like, it's just the stuff hurts. Like, it's legit. Like,
yeah, it is. It's legit.
And some of the emotions that you go through, you know, when you finally reach a certain point in your career, like you winning the international championship, like, there's real emotion in that. It's not fake.
I cried. I came to the backstage area and I cried because I was that excited and that like all those emotions were real about me winning that singles title. So you know what I'm saying? Like, for anybody who think it's fake, like I said, just come on down to XCW. We'll show you that it's not fake.
That's right.
We'll show you that it's not fake.
You heard it. Jay Ellis tell you right there. There's nothing fake about what we do. There's people that come through that are fake.
Yeah, for sure.
But what we do is not.
It's not fake. Because if it was fake, I would have never left the show with a broken fucking face.
Exactly. Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Jay for coming on the show today. We want to hear from you, XCW Galaxy. What do you think of these free time interviews thus far? I'm loving the season that we're having. And I want to thank you guys once again for joining us here. Until next time, I am Fletch, Jay Ellis. We'll see you next time here on XCW Freetime Interviews.
Look at it spin!